Hello guys, welcome to Codecrafters. In this video, we are going to study something about modifiers. So, access modifiers like public, private, protected. So, we will come across each of the things by examples and everything. So, in Java, we have access modifiers and non-access modifiers. Access modifiers are public, private, and protected. Non-access modifiers are final and abstract. You already know final and stuff, but still we haven't created any class which has a final non-access modifier. So yeah, we will come across all those things using examples, okay? So public. You're familiar with the word public. Public means that code is accessible for all classes, right? So what is private? Private means that code is only accessible within the declared class. And what are protected? Protected means that code will be accessible for the classes and also the class of the sub packages and packages and everything. So you'll understand it much better if we are doing it by examples. Let's create first a class of public, though we know everything, but still public access. Okay, that's the class name, and we'll just create this main function too. Yeah, so here you have the class access modifier already public, that's default in Java, and then we will create few fields in the name of public access modifier. So public string name is equal to daemon public string, p should be always small letter, email is equal to daemon@gmail.com, and public int age is equal to 25. So to access this, you'll be creating the normal way. We just have to create an object of the class, and then we have to use that object to access the field names, right? So our class name is public access. So public access p is equal to new public access. And then we'll just create 3 sysout statements. Just copy and paste it for thrice, okay? Inside this, we just have to print name is equal to our object name is p dot name, and the next one is email. Just move this. Email is equal to p dot email, and the next one is age. And age is p dot age. So this is the way you will access a variable that's declared using the public access modifier. You can just run it and you get the output. Yeah, you got the name, email, and age. So I hope you understood how public access modifier works. Now let's get to the second point, that is private access modifier. We'll create another class for it. New class and private access. You can create any names, okay? I'm just using this for your reference. So inside this, we'll be using the same variables, but just a modification. We'll just create it using the private access modifier. Just rename it here. Private, and copy paste it here. You can also type, but I'm just doing it because I'm lazy. Yeah, and after this, we are just going to access again. As I said, any variable name created inside the private access modifier can be accessed within the declared class. We haven't created any new classes here. We have created the main method also in the same class, so we don't have to do anything else. You can access the private variables. So we'll just copy paste this also there, and we'll just rename the class here. It's private, right? Private access. So now when you run the output, you will get, the output is almost same, but the only difference is that we have used here private access modifier, and before class we have used public access modifier. So now let's get to the protected access modifier. So the main advantage of protected access modifier is that within the same package or even within the sub packages, you can use the fields and the methods. Like when it comes to private, if you're using it in a different class, even though it's in the same package, that will cause an error. But in the protected, that won't be an error because you have the advantage of using it. So let's create a new class here. Protected access. Create the main method too and finish. And then again the same variables. You can use different variables or anything. You can use methods also. We'll use the keyword protected here. Okay, and one more thing, as I said, protected can be accessed from different class also, right? So we'll create a different class this time. Class new one, any name, it's not an issue. And inside this we'll give the variables. Okay, and we are going to access it from there. One more thing, if you're using it in a different class, you have to use the extends keyword just like we learned in inheritance, right? So extends new one. So after this, we are just going to print it here by using the object of the protected one, protected access, and here also you have to change it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Now we will run it. Yes, you got the output, right? So the difference here was we created a new class and then we access the variable names of that class by using the extends keyword in the main class. So you can use this, do this only in the way if using the protected access modifier. Now we know what's access modifier, and we also study the three types of access modifier, that is public, private, and protected. Now let's study something new, that's non-access modifiers. In Java, the non-access modifiers are final and abstract. So we'll come across the examples of that. Let's create a new class. Final non-access. Yeah, so the only thing about final which you need to know is that once you have created a class final, you can't inherit from the class or use the field names of that class in another class. Like like the way you did in protected, if you're actually declaring the class as a final class, you can't use these variable or the field names in this main class. That will cause an error in Java. I'll show you the error. Also, I'll show you the program output. So in case we are creating a class like final class book, okay, the class keyword, sorry, and inside this we are just going to give one field with the name protected access modifier, protected string book name is equal to the predator. Then we'll create also just a method, public void book genre sys out. I'm doing this all just for you to show you the error, what happens when you're trying to access the field or the methods of a final class. Enemies to lovers. So here you can just cancel this comment. In the main class, you're again creating a variable here before the main method, private string author name is equal to Ronix, and you're going to create an object here of the final non-access f is equal to new final non-access. Sys out. So if you're using this variable name, it's not going to cause any issues. But in case you're using the field names of this class, that will cause an error. I'll show you the error. First, we'll access the method also. F dot book genre. And even you can inherit, right? So even if you use extends keyword and try to inherit the final class, it's going to cause an error here. As you can see here itself, we have given an underlined thing, the type final non-access cannot subclass the final class book. Yeah, so you can't ever subclass anything from the final class. Anyway, you can't use the method also. We'll anyway go along with it to show you the error. So author name, and sys out book name, that's a field of the final class, book name. So you can see you have an error, and once you try to run it, you are getting the error. The method book genre is unidentified for the type final non-access. Book name cannot be resolved or is not a field. Okay, so that's how final class works. And now the next non-access modifier is abstract non-access modifier. So for that, we'll create a new file here. We'll just put this in the comment section. Sorry. We'll just create a new class for the abstract. New class abstract non-access. So inside this, we are just going to create a new class that's in the form of an abstract class. And abstract class, you just have to create using the keyword abstract class, and let's say main. So inside that, we are just going to give some few field names, public string, name. Okay, we'll just use the same one which we gave for public class. Okay, just use it here. And one more thing, once you're declaring a method of the abstract class, that method will not contain a body. You'll be only declaring the method, but the body part will not be given there. So once you're declaring a class of the method of an abstract modifier, public abstract void study, something like this. You can only do this. You can only declare it like this. You can't give the body part here. And one more thing to be noted, if you need to access the abstract class, you will be accessing the class only through the inheritance method. Like you'll be first inheriting the class through another class, and from that subclass you'll be accessing the abstract class fields also. So I'll explain that during using the example. So now let's create another method, class student extends main. So inside this, we will just give public int graduation year is equal to 2025. Okay, we just created a field of the public class, and then we also create a method public void study. So you know what's this method. This method was something which was created using the abstract keyword, but we are going to define the method or give the body part of the method here in this class. So sys out studying for masters. Yeah, and then just remove this access modifier here. Okay, we'll just create another class because we already have a class with the student. Yeah, that issue is solved. Once you created a class in the same package in before files or anything, that will cause an issue when you're trying to create the same class in another files. Anyway, we'll just come here. We can use the public keyword here. And inside this, we'll create a main method, public static void main string args. And now this needs to create an object of the student class which inherits the method and the attributes from this main class, right? So we will just create an object of the student class first. Student demp s is equal to new student demp. And inside this we are going to print everything. So we only have 4 things here. So we have 3 attributes and 1 method, right? And one more thing, this graduation here. Sys out. We need 5 print statement, I guess. We need a negotiable. Okay, now we will first print the name of the student by using the object name s dot name and a email of the student email yes dot email and next age s dot age and next is graduation just move this to the side. It's just a simple thing, output formatting, nothing else, to make it more neat and presentable. Graduation year is s dot what was the variable name? Graduation. And now we will also call the method s dot study. We don't need this print statement. So now we'll run the program. You got the output. So you have seen here, though we created a class of the abstract class, we access those attributes and we define the body of the method in the another class which extends from the abstract class. So that's how abstract non-access modifier works. You know what's an abstract method now, and you also know how to define the method in the another class. I hope the access modifiers and non-access modifiers explained in this video is clear. If you have any doubt, do reach out in the comment section. Thank you.